Hi guys, welcome to another crafty tutorial on my YouTube channel. And this is part 2 of my previous video. So in my previous video, I have used positive die cuts. And in this particular video, I'm going to use out the negative die cut sheet that we created in the first video. So if you have missed out, I'll highly suggest that you check that video out. In that video, we have used sticky bag to stick the foils onto our paper and then, convert it into a foiled cardstock and then make some Christmas and Diwali cards out of it. So I have used the word happy and merry in my the last video where I created the cards. And here I'll be using the happy and merry negative die cut area to create the cards. So the first thing that I start off with is just trimming the cardstock. So basically this cardstock was slightly larger than A2 card, and now I'm cutting it to slightly smaller than A2. That is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inch. At this point of time, I had no idea on where my card was going to go, etc., etc. I am just trimming it down to a regular size so that later on I can use it on my card. Whenever you're using your cards to create die cutting, I would highly suggest, especially with things like flourishes or alphabet dies, number dies, etc. With such things you can definitely use up the negative die cut as well, like how I'm doing. So it is always a good exercise to think of how you can use up the negative die cut as well, because that will give you more variations in designs, and it will also help you use up the scraps that you normally keep. Or why waste the negative die cuts when you could actually make a card out of it, right? Because it very clearly spells merry and happy over here, and I can definitely use it on my card rather than this just going into dustbin. So over here, what I do is I have trimmed my Craft Angles dual textured white cardstock in an A2 card size, and I have folded and kept them ready. And I was just laying out the foil pieces and seeing how they look. However, I did not like that stark white background through my die cut. Instead, I wanted to create more natural looking festive cards. More with modern twist and using shades like light beige, gray, etc., which is very in these days, the modern festive cards. So what I do is I use this handmade piece of cardstock. So this is Lotus, which is a very common Indian stationery brand paper, and they have this pack of handmade paper, which is in these light pastel colors like very light gray, light brown, light pink, etc. It's one of my favorite pack by Lotus. I got this from my local stationery shops at very good rates. And sorry, so I don't have any online link for you guys, but do hunt your local area and probably you will also find some. Or you could also try some handmade paper from your local store. Again, just try to get a thicker GSM paper. Now, what I'm doing is I wanted to add some texture to add some added interest on my background. And my favorite way to do that is using stencils and texture paste. Now, honestly, it does not matter what stencil or paste you use. In my case, I'm using this geometric burst stencil by Craft Angles because I really like this pattern and I felt it looked very festive, modern looking bauble kind of a pattern. So this reminded me a lot of Christmas, and that is why I'm using this stencil. And along with that, I'm using some Craft Angles texture paste of type paper. So this actually has some paper fibers in it, and that adds another layer of texture on top of my card. And that is why I'm using that. And you can see again, I'm just covering almost like 60% to 70% of my paper. And that there is no logic as to what area I wanted to cover, etc. I just wanted to cover my area. That's it. And now what I have done is I have taken some Craft Angles Midnight Black cardstock, and then I'm stamping on top of it using Craft Angles from All of Us stamp set. Now this is just a stamp set which contains a bunch of regularly used sentiments, and I am embossing on top of it using Ranger Superfine White embossing powder. And I have used the sentiments Happy Holidays and Happy Diwali. Now, before doing this, I prepped my cardstock with some powder tool, and that is very important if you don't want your embossing powder to stick everywhere. So just make sure that you prep your card base with some kind of powder so that the oil from your hand which are transferred onto the cardstock, that is where the embossing powder will not stick, and it will only stick to the area where you have stamped. The ink pad that I use is my favorite, Versamark embossing ink pad. I have always been using that and I'm really happy with that. And the acrylic blocks, so you can see over here throughout the place, I have only used acrylic blocks. I don't use a stamping platform or anything because I really feel that acrylic blocks really work well for me. The one that I'm using is by brand Tubby. And then I used my heat gun to heat and emboss the sentiment. Again, this heat gun is the one which I highly recommend. And then I cut my strips of sentiment through my tonic trimmer. Again, another highly recommended tool if you have not invested in a trimmer, and if you are a card maker who likes to, only make cards and are not into big scrapbooks, then this is a perfect trimmer for you. It's a small trimmer. That is why I'm only suggesting it for card makers and not scrapbookers. Then what I do is I trim down my sentiments to fit my card. And this is where you can see the whole idea has started taking shape. So initially I started with the horizontal layout of my happy and merry words. And now you can see that I have moved to a vertical layout. Now that happens quite a lot with me, especially when I don't have a plan, like in this particular cards. The only plan I had was that I wanted to use the negative die cuts. I was not sure on where I was going, what layout was I going to use, etc., etc. And that's completely fine. You can, once you get hang of how to do card making, because trust me, when I started card making, even if you would have told me that create a card impromptu without any plan, I could have not done it. But now that, it's been a year or two that I have been doing card making regularly, I am now able to think of designs, and you will also be able to do it. Unfortunately, there is no shortcut, with experience, these all things come with experience. So once you start making is when, you will start understanding what colors to put on top of each other, what to put on top of each other, what colors work, what combination works, etc., etc. That will only come up with trial and error. Now I felt, once I was assembling the card, that the card needed even more texture because I wanted to really make it very, very nature inspired, neutral colored, festive cards. So I decided to add some twine, and this is the natural colored twine that I am using. Now, this is my second favorite way to add texture on cards. That is using any kind of threads, and the color of threads, etc., depend on the kind of card that I am making and the colors that I am using. So I have quite a few twines in light colors. Normally, I use them in light colors and in black color. So depending on my mood and what is the layout, I decide on the threads. Now you can see, since that thread adds dimension on top and the back of your card, you will see me using foam tape. This is because that if I directly stick the paper on top of the twine, it will create that bump because that twine also has some dimension to it. And that is why I'm adding foam tape in between so everything remains flat once I stick this die cut word on top of the base that we have created. So I have used some foam tape, and then I'll be sticking the negative die cut on top of my card. And post that, I'll just be trying to decide on where I want to put my sentiment. Now, you could put anywhere, just try out different layouts of where you think it will look nice before you actually put tape or glue on top of it. And then you can decide on adding, whatever glue that works for you. In my case, I decided to add even more further dimension, and that is why I've decided to use some foam tape. And that will complete the base of my first card. Now I'll repeat the exact same thing on Merry card as well. So it's the exact same thing that I did over here. And then what I do is, now you'll see me assembling this entire piece. So whatever, this handmade piece that we have created on the Lotus handmade paper, I'll be sticking this on the back side of our note card, the Craft Angles note card that we are going to use. Now, this is not a one layer card, it has a lot of dimension. And you can see again, I have added foam tape on the back. This is because the twine has created a layer of twine has basically created a dimension, an extra layer, And to compensate for that dimension, I am adding foam tape so that once I stick this on top of my card base, everything will again remain flat. Now I decided instead of, putting it straight, I decided to put it at an angle, and that will complete my Merry card. Again, I'll be following the exact same steps for the Diwali card as well. And you can see that, over here the die cut word were merry, and I have used happy holidays as the sentiment. But nevertheless, it looks equally well because we all know Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays are one and the same theme. So, mix and match, see what comes up, because again, I said these cards were completely random. There was no thought process. I just wanted to use up the die cuts, and that was the whole process. And that is how I kickstarted the idea of making these cards. And I feel this is also a good exercise for those of you who are into card making, that, pick up these kind of negative pieces that you would normally throw in trash and see what you come up with. It may necessarily not be great, but at least you'll be learning something. So those were the two cards for today. I That completes both my cards. Again, a very fun way to use negative die cards. And if you have missed the first part, I highly suggest you check out the first part, because there I share a very cool way to use foils without laminators, and how you could do die cutting on top of it, etc. Here I leave you with some of the close-ups, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Till then, please take care. And if you do like my videos, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Also, do like and comment if you'd like to see anything in particular. Bye.